Pullman, Washington, the site of tonight's Pac-12 women's volleyball matchup between Arizona State and Washington State, and the Cougars receiving votes in the latest AP poll. Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside Bowler Gym in Pullman, Washington, alongside all-time Diggs leader from Washington State, Kate Summer. I'm Trevor Williams. Thanks for being with us tonight. And Kate, these teams in two very different directions. ASU 2-13 in conference play right now, but Washington State 7-7, knocking on the door of an NCAA tournament.
I mean, that is absolutely phenomenal. Building from the bottom up, Washington State has come a long way, and to see them battle week in and week out, year after year, and to see them that close to the NCAA tournament is very exciting. It's
a tough conference. You see a logjam at the top of this conference, and Kate, a lot of familiar names at the top with Stanford and UCLA and Washington. And now this Oregon team starting to get there as well, but Washington State a big chance to move up this weekend.
I think that just goes to show how tough the competition is weekend after weekend. Everybody is fighting for that top spot. So to see Washington State really fighting to be in the top of that Pac-12 poll is awesome.
A big reason that the Cougars have had so much success this season, one of the nation's best blocking attacks, and it's led by a very tall front line.
Blocking and defense can change the momentum of the game, and I think Washington State has made that their identity this year. So we'll see tonight how much further they can take themselves.
We'll see if the Cougars can get it done. It's Washington State and Arizona State coming up next here on WSUCougars.com.
This will be a free ball back to Washington State. Another chance to put away set one. And it's Leos putting it down. Washington State takes the first set. We'll get to serve now for the Cougars. Williams dives in, overpass, Holt's right there to slam it back down. Woodford has it adjusted. Now Holt from the back row, another kill for Kyra Holt. McKenna Woodford had that serve for Washington State. And now Kyra Holt and Claire Martin team up to send down a block for the Cougars. The way things have gone, it's going to be very tight to see who wins this Pac-12 down the stretch. And interestingly enough, only twice since 1986 has a team had more than 2 losses in conference play and won the conference championship. That's going to happen this year for just the 3rd time.
Looking at that sheet for the teams in the Pac-12, it is just amazing how many good teams there are and how many teams will make the tournament this year. So, like I said earlier, every game is tough.
Could be another 9-team year for the Pac-12. Holt trying to find a kill for the Cougars, and a big dig out by the Sun Devils and their libero. Stevens' turn for the Cougars, and a free ball back. Couple great digs to either side. Cougars trying to put it away now. Mims. It's dug out by Arizona State setter Peterson. Now on the far side, a block by Mims and Bethune. And that was a great rally and one that the Cougars had to have after the length and the energy expended there.
You always would want to see a point end on a block, but I'd like to see Washington State be a little more aggressive on their attack. They're tipping a lot, and it's working sometimes, but in tight sets, you don't want to be able to be tentative. You want to go balls to the walls, so to speak.
The back set to the back row was fired long. Cougars within 1, and now Arizona State will take a timeout. And Stevie Mussey starting to feel that Sun Devil energy and that momentum slip away. Washington State out of that timeout. A couple really good possessions to get this back close.
And I think they need to utilize the crowd here. You know, if it's tight, if you're playing well and you're going after it, the fans are behind you. So really utilizing that home court advantage is going to help Washington State in this first set.
The Cougars have enjoyed being home in this 2016 season. Washington State averaging just over 1,150 fans per match. And Jen Greeny said it was kind of lucky this year because they got a lot of these matches to coincide with football weekends. Of course, they've got no say in that, but when it works out that way, it does create kind of a special energy here in the gym.
I can say in my 4 years that never worked out. So whenever we got to go to maybe a quarter of a football game, that was the best treat ever. So really cool to see the atmosphere here in Pullman when football is in town, as well as volleyball.
Well, I'm still not sure how much of the game they get to see, especially when they're 7:30 kickoffs like we have seen from time to time. I'm sure Coach Greeny likes him tucked into bed for that Sunday match.
Absolutely. Those games are brutal. They're late, and you got to be refreshed for Sunday if you're Jen Greeny's squad. So, you know where your priorities are, but again, really great to have that small town feel and all the fans really be behind for both programs.
Washington State back within 1. Sun Devils have 1 timeout remaining. Cougars have taken both in this opening set. And this becomes a very hard-fought battle. Washington State looked like They had a chance to pull away in the first half of the set, and then the Sun Devils used a 5-0 run to pull right back into this. Cougars trying to go on a little run of their own now. It'll be Mims serving. A good tough serve from Mims. Cougars set up a block far side. Sun Devils able to keep with it. Mims going to set it up for Bethune, and it's blocked down, and that was a good first look by Mims on the set, but Bethune just unable to get it past the block.
Credit to ASU. They saw that. They set up shop and did their job. Nice block.
Now Sun Devils by 2. They can get a couple points here. This becomes huge down the stretch. Hallie Johnson serves straight to Stevens. It'll come to Holt. Off the tape, gets a little help from the net, and it's always appreciated.
When you practice on the net, you hope it helps you in games. So
I think part of that just because Holt is tenacious with her swing or approach, even when it does hit the net, you're going to get a lot of help from that.
So you're saying it was on purpose then,
Yeah,
right?
better not to be timid.
Gotcha.
Just like she drew it up. 21-20. Nearly a service ace. Just saved off by a pancake for Arizona State. Holt's try now. Off a blocker. That's a tool, and it's even. And now it's a race to 4 in this first set.
Greenie's squad didn't really like that call. I thought it was up, but they seem to think differently. But like we always say, ball never lies. So Washington State did get that point.
And the Cougars make this a race to 4 in the opening set. McDonald will stick with Holt. Why not? It's dug out back by McClendon. Jurovich drops it on Stevens, but a punch to the left hand. Holt, one more try. Probably got the tip. Yes, she did up front. That was a good call. 22-21 Cougars.
With a ball like that that's high and off the net, you want to be able to see your blocker, see your court, but hit high off of their hands. It's not an ideal set. So awesome job by Kyra Holt, seeing those hands of the blockers and going high.
And now the run belongs to Washington State. 5 of the last points have been Cougar points in this opening set to make it 22-21. Arizona State will take its final timeout of set number 1. And for the Sun Devils, they were close in a couple of their sets a weekend ago, facing 2 tough teams in USC and UCLA. What's the difference maker, Kate, late in sets when you're a team that is a little younger? How do you get that fire and that ability to close out sets?
You know, I think it comes with grit and mentality. It doesn't matter, you know, your experience in the game or how old you are. It's really just you play to win. You don't play to lose. You don't play timid. And so I think that's huge in any sport. You go out there, you don't think, and you just go. A lot of these girls have been playing volleyball since a very young age, and it's almost second nature. So half of the game and half of the battle is that mentality. So really, like I said earlier, you can't teach experience, but so you just got to go out there and really have that grit and mentality to play to win.
That was something the Cougars did so well at the beginning of this 2016 conference slate, going 5-0. That tied a program best start in conference play for the Cougars. And they were a closing team, a finishing team, even in 5 sets early on in this season. And now they've got a chance here with 3 points left in the opening set to make a run of this. Hitting percentage creeping up. What's the last thing you need to see from the Cougars for them to get the set 1 victory?
I think it's the little things for them, you know, the touches off the block or the tips or just those small things, putting pressure on the Sun Devils, you know, finding those little areas to really finish that set.
McDonald just able to toss it over the tape. Leos deflects one high. The set for Holt, and it's an overpass. Now Leos trying to put it down, gets the tip, and the Cougars grab the point. In frustration for Hallie Johnson, as soon as she touched it, she knew she didn't want that ball. It was going to be long.
Her teammates possibly were yelling out as well. So that's always tough, but when in doubt, you want to make sure you play that ball.
23-21. Cougars 2 points away from a come-from-behind victory in set 1. And the Sun Devils keeping it close. Maya McClendon the kill. That's a senior from Louisville, Kentucky, and a transfer from Louisville.
McClendon is kind of an undersized outside hitter, so for her to nail that sideline and that hard angle shot is quite impressive. Nice swing by her.
At just 5'10" stands McClendon. McDonald for Holt, and it is wide on the block's try. And the Cougars have set point number 1. That's a good tool to block by Kyra.
In times like this is when experience does count. You know, I was talking earlier, you need that mentality and grit, but Kyra Holt has received so many sets in the past maybe 7 points, and she's come up big for this Washington State team.
6th in the conference in kills is Holt, trying to help serve the Cougars to set 1 victory, and it's a tool now on Arizona State side off the Cougar block. Washington State will have 1 more try to cap this in 25 on this first set.
I like that swing from Arizona State. They're not scared. Washington State has the game point, but they're going at that block, finding some court.
So Peterson's had a tough serve so far. We'll see how the Cougars handle it. Woodford back in for Washington State. Now Leos from the middle has it dug out. Sun Devils trying to make this go past 25. Covage will protect for the Cougars. Woodford has it dug. This will be a free ball back to Washington State. Another chance to put away set 1. And it's Leos putting it down. Washington State takes the first set. And Ella Leos has only played in 25 sets this season, but she's going to be thrilled to put away set number 1 for the Cougars, 25-23.
And those weren't ideal sets for Leos. They were kind of low off the net, but that's when it's easy to make errors. But she's finding court. She's being smart with the ball she's being given, and you see it in the result of a point.
Well done for Ella Leos, wrapping up that opening set for the Cougars. And